Moving on, next we have Amanda Lacars, who's the Managing Director and CEO of Lynas. Lynas has had an exciting announcement this morning, so I'm sure you're all keen for her to share this with us. Lynas is the world's only scale producer of separated rare earth materials outside of China, and Amanda believes she may also be the only mining CEO to request a hairdryer in her room at the mining camp. Lynas operates a high-grade Tier 1 Mount Weld resource in Western Australia and a proven processing facility in Malaysia. They're building a rare earth processing facility in Kalgoorlie and planning a new separation facility in the US. Over to you, Amanda.
Thanks, Jane. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for staying through to day 3. And I trust that I can reward you for your commitment with an interesting session right now. I am going to try to finish at about 20 minutes to leave 5 minutes for questions. No, you don't get it back, Jane. So if anyone wants to think about those, please do. Firstly, of course, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which we meet and the land on which we at Lynas live and work Wongatha country. I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and I extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people here today. I would like to especially acknowledge our employees, our business partners and our communities here in Western Australia. In particular, because I know he is here, I would like to acknowledge Lyndon's warm welcome to country and to recognise his work with Lynas via Indigenous personnel and training. A great example of a business operating with purpose, which is truly making a difference every day. Well, day 3, what a great time we've had. Well, some of us anyway. As always, Kalgoorlie has made us feel welcome, and we've truly appreciated the interest shown in our business by all the visitors to the booth and on our bus tours. I would also like to specifically recognise the support and welcome provided to us by the Kalgoorlie-Boulder City Council, an absolute exemplar of what can happen when a council is determined to create better outcomes for their community. Also, the Western Australian Government, which has been a key supporter of Lynas's development here in WA. So the last presentation was very exotic. Over in South America. I felt a little bit like, athletes who want to perform in front of their home crowd, because today is all about Lynas in the goldfields. It's about Lynas in Mount Weld and it's about Lynas here in Kalgoorlie. And I'm really excited to announce a further $500 million investment in the Goldfields region of WA with a new development project at Mount Weld that will increase production. Oh gosh, I'm supposed to run my own slides, aren't I? Oh dear. That will increase production and improve sustainability. I'm sure the self-confessed Lynas tragics, where are you, Josh? Maybe he's not here. We'll have already read our release, but for the rest of you, let me put this in context. Actually, just before that, yes, Jane, I probably am the only CEO amongst all those Marks and Peters that Elizabeth Gaines identified that wants a hairdryer in my room. And I am very indulged by both the camp operators and others on my team. I did ask for a review of the turn-down service, but I had somewhat less success. So today I'm going to talk a little about the market, Lynas's accelerated growth plan, developing our critical minerals capability in Western Australian goldfields and our commitment to ESG. There is no doubt the rare earths sector is an exciting place to be these days, and not in the way of the Chinese proverb of may you live in interesting times. Demand for magnetic materials is forecast to double by 2030, but this demand is within a market which is structurally ill-equipped to meet the increased demand. Over the past 30 years, China has become dominant in many minerals processing and manufacturing sectors. And there is nowhere where this is more evident than rare earths. Ian Gandel showed you a similar graphic on the rare earth supply chain on Monday. In a nutshell, China has leveraged its resource and processing know-how to develop a dominant position in the supply of essential materials for green, future-facing industries. And that is why you will be hearing from so many project proponents in this space. But rare earths are not for the faint-hearted. The geopolitics are real. Just recently, a US cyber firm identified a coordinated disinformation campaign targeting Lynas and other rare earth firms, which appeared to originate from a source which promotes the PRC agenda. But even before facing into some of the geopolitical challenges, the barriers to entry in this important sector are significant. As all the diggers here today know, it all starts with the resource. And whilst many commentators want to say rare earths are not that rare, they are very rare in deposits that are economic to develop. Grade is important, so too is the distribution of the various elements. Processing rare earths is difficult. They are valuable because they are reactive metals and they love each other. The process of purifying them into their useful separated form is technically complex. In the past 2 decades, Lynas is the only firm outside China that has successfully started up and progressed to full production its mine and separation facilities. And we are celebrating our 10 and I think 12-year anniversaries in Malaysia and at Mount Weld this year. We've reached nameplate for our current facilities and debottlenecked to increase production. The materials we produce are highly sought after by customers. In 2019, based on the forecast growth at the time, we announced a further uplift in our production from our current rates to 10,500 tonnes per annum of equivalent finished NdPr. And we also announced our intention to grow with the market. Based on the development of the market over the past year in particular, this is no longer enough. So we have accelerated and upgraded our growth plan, and this plan will include capital investment at each production stage. So the 2019 plan, we have already progressed elements of that plan. Part of that is our large investment here in Kalgoorlie, and some people have been out to see the site and you can see how much is going on. I'm excited every time I go there. But today, and I think appropriately for diggers and dealers, I'm going to focus on Mount Weld because it all starts with Mount Weld. Every CEO of a minerals company here today knows that no matter what the quality of the processing operations, the quality, quantity and cost of our feedstock is the foundation of our success. The Mount Weld ore body is remarkable. It's a 2 billion-year-old volcano which has provided us with what our senior geologist, Dr. Ganesh Bhatt, calls a treasure trove of rare earth elements. Yeah, he showed me this fabulous presentation a couple of weeks ago, which is Decoding the Geological Clues, the Mount Weld carbonatite. And I said, Ganesh, we really should have the subtitle, What Lies Beneath. But it is exciting, and all of our geologists and metallurgists are excited by the Mount Weld deposit. The current production is fed from the long-life ore reserves in the near-surface weathered zone. And as we get more experience and do more drilling, we are fine-tuning our mine planning to focus not only on grade, but also on distribution of the various elements. So here's the big news. Okay, ready? I think you've all read it. We're announcing a new $500 million investment right here in the goldfields to expand our operations at Mount Weld. Some of you will have visited Mount Weld, and I'm sure that some of you will have looked at our concentrator and wondered if it was a pilot plant. It is tiny, and that's essentially about grade. High-grade material, we don't have to process so much of it. As I said, we think about our production in equivalent tonnes of finished NdPr, and this expansion that I'm announcing today will take us from today's 7,000 tonnes to 12,000 tonnes in 2024. Remember I said more, faster? Previously it was 10.5 in 25, just in case you didn't join the dots. 2 additional stages still in development will target an additional 4.8 thousand tonnes per annum. As we move further into the ore body and down the grade curve and into new mineralogies, we will be increasing throughput from 0.3 million tonnes per annum to 1.3 million tonnes per annum. And that gives us sufficient headroom to continue to grow. The expansion will support our ability to process apatite ore, a key feedstock from our new mining, and we also have some of this ore stockpiled today, ready to go, as we move forward. As part of this project, we will be investing in improved sustainability initiatives, including further improving our tailings water recycle from 50% to 90%, and we will transition our power from current diesel generation to a gas hybrid renewable solution. This project is fully scoped and fully funded from cash flow. And as someone who has stood in front of this audience knowing just how little money we had in the bank, I cannot tell you how proud that makes me of the efforts of everybody in Lynas over the last 6 years that has brought us to this position. We've assembled an expert owners team led by Alex Logan, who was previously our head of metallurgy and water at Mount Weld. And as with our Kalgoorlie project, the most significant value we bring to our projects is our IP, specifically flowsheet development and processing design. Alex and his team have developed the flowsheet and, as with all Lynas projects, integrated an improvement philosophy into everything they've considered. I suspect I have probably sent them just a little bit crazy when my first question each time they presented was, well, how is this better than what we do today? We consider our Kalgoorlie plant is, Generation 4 design for cracking and leaching. The Mount Weld flow sheet, particularly related to water management, is similarly up to about Generation 4, and the project is based on known technology. This expansion will increase throughput, improve efficiency, and provide us with the flexibility to process different ore types, and importantly, provide that platform for further growth. Mount Weld is actually a small site. Our current disturbance envelope is only 500 hectares. Gasp! Yeah. We will require an extension of this disturbance envelope, and we have already completed the various flora, fauna, cultural heritage and Aboriginal archaeology site surveys required to support a fully informed impact assessment. Importantly, we've also engaged with members of the Nyalpa Panuku Native Title Claimant Group who have expressed written support for the plans, and we've progressed on joint development of a social and cultural management plan. In this picture, you can see the carbonatite boundary. It's the light blue colour, which is the shape of the volcano. The mineralised area occupies the majority of our tenement area, and our sustainability initiatives and our new infrastructure will be outside of that area, of course. We will have actions at all stages in our production, including investment in our utilities. As we look at this flow sheet, more exploration, we will have improved crushing and grinding infrastructure, additional flotation circuits, an apatite leach circuit, concentrate dewatering, drying and load-out facilities, reagent facilities, state-of-the-art high recovery water recycling circuit from the tailings dam, additional bore water desalination plant, and additional tailings storage. And so that sounds so easy to do when I just reel it off like that, but the team assures me it's quite complicated. We are a compact operation, and as you can see from here, you can see the beauty of a brownfields expansion, because the new activities, which are the blue shaded areas, can essentially be integrated into the work that we already have on site. I'm sure that many of you would be just like me and get frustrated with the ill-informed notion that mining companies don't care about the environment. In fact, one of our 5 core values at Lynas is sustainability. And it's not about ticking a box. It is actually driven by the determination of our people in the business. They, like their communities, care about the effect of our operations on the environment. They, like their friends, care about carbon emissions. And they, like their families, care that their work improves our ability to create a more sustainable future for the planet. And so about 60% of the capital associated with this project is dedicated to initiatives that will enhance our climate change resilience and which build on circular economy principles. So our geology team is even more excited, Dr. Ganesh Bhatt down there, yeah, in case I didn't point him out, about the future potential from the Mount Weld carbonatite. Last year we drilled our first deep hole, 1 kilometre deep, and it confirmed continuous mineralisation to 1,020 metres below the current pit floor. Gasp again. With several enriched zones at varying levels through that carbonatite. This has provided us with an exploration target. We're working with expert partners from CSIRO, Murdoch and Curtin universities with the Minerals Research Institute of WA, and world-leading experts from our partners at JOGMEC, Japan Oil Gas Metals Exploration Corporation, to further develop our understanding of the ore body and its potential. The exploration target has been defined and the team can't wait to get started. Of course, this project at Mount Weld is not our only big project here in the goldfields. It complements our existing $500 million project right here in Kalgoorlie. For those who aren't so good at mental arithmetic, that sees us invest over $1 billion in the goldfields. 2 times 500, creating up to 600 jobs in the construction phase and an uplift of over 200 jobs in our ongoing operational workforce. I'm pleased we were able to take some of you out on the bus to see the progress at our Kalgoorlie site, and it is so exciting to see it take shape. I know, sometimes we're all supposed to be a bit sort of cynical and over some of this stuff, but I just get such a buzz every time I go there. The kiln is now in position. It's rotated under its own power. As I said, this is really a generation 4 in terms of design. Grant, who's our project leader, has been so excited. He virtually rebuilt the front end of our Malaysian plant, which really didn't work on its initial design. And he, with his team, improved that, rebuilt it, and then enhanced it, debottlenecked and improved it again. And now he's able to put all those learnings into this new facility here in Kalgoorlie. Our waste gas foundation excavations and formwork, you can see those in the foreground of that photo on the left. Yeah, it's on the left. The combustion chamber is installed. We've got the filter building slab and foundations complete. Once again, we're moving into continuous improvement here. The 7 filters that we have in Kalgoorlie will do the equivalent of 53 in Malaysia. And what that means is not only is it more efficient, but we can take manual intervention out of the process and improve safety performance. This photo shows you really the site as it is. You can see we've got leach foundations complete, concrete tanks, bunding complete, Western Power infrastructure is complete, and we have town water from the city available for us. It's been recycled once already. We actually do want more people flushing toilets in Kalgoorlie. because it's the treated sewage that we will use, but we will then actually recycle it 5 to 6 times in our facility before we're no longer able to use it. So we're really proud to have received a AA rating for our ESG from MSCI, and for us, our commitment starts with our people and communities. We have about 911 people working for us at Lynas. We've got more than 400 days LTI free at Mount Weld. I hope that will be 700 days by the time I'm here next year. We have a safe and respectful workplace. Elizabeth Gaines talked about the diversity index, and it breaks my heart, really, that our industry is still not making significant progress in this area. We need talent, we need young people to see our industry as a desirable place to work, and the recent studies are beyond disappointing. On the other hand, I talk to a lot of my peers, and none of them are in denial about the challenges that we need to address. All accept that there are lots of issues which must be addressed. But my exhortation to them and every leader in this room is make your own inquiries and understand how the issues manifest on your sites for your women or for your people from diverse backgrounds. I did this recently at Mount Weld, and we have an issue with toilets at the mine, right? They're close by, but still women have to get a light vehicle to take them back to the toilet. Men, because most of us are guilty of this with our little boys, we've taught them that they can do a bush wee anywhere, just pop off to the side of the mine. Well, I don't think that's okay for women, and I don't think it's okay for men, right? And so it is easily solvable, actually, is really easy to solve, but it makes a difference for our people who are working in that mine site, and it means that our women, and I've heard this from more than one source, don't take the choice to not drink water so that they don't have to go to the toilet. Now, I understand that others will have solved this issue. In fact, I spoke to Peter Bradford last night at IGO, and he said, "Oh no, we've sorted it out. Our women are a bit more vocal than yours, clearly." I don't know about that. But I also spoke to Mike Erickson at Anglo Gold, and he said when he was doing a recent listening tour as a result of these, he was getting very similar information coming from his women. My point is that the issues that our workforce face will be different at different sites. It is not good enough to take somebody else's report and say we'll respond to that. And you really need to go and make your own inquiries and understand what the daily effects are for the people within your business. I know that at least some CEOs have taken the respect at work as a personal challenge, and they really understand it will only change with their commitment. And I trust that will be the case for all, and look forward to an improved diversity index next year. We are committed to employing locally, buying locally. I've spoken about our commitment to continuously improving our environmental practices. And I just want to say our teams are very proud to have received gold medal status with EcoVadis, the AA MSCI rating, but maybe the nomination which has created the most excitement at Mount Weld is being a finalist in this year's Golden Gecko Environmental Excellence Award, part of the 2022 Resources Sector Awards for Excellence administered by WA DMIRS. That's for water management techniques related to tailings management, which they have both invented and implemented. So the rare earths market is a great place to be right now, and we are so excited to be accelerating and upgrading our growth plan. It all starts with Mount Weld, and the project I've announced today provides the foundation for further investment downstream. We face the future confidently, knowing we can build on our past strengths, embrace new learning, and use our skills and expertise developed in the tough years to really flourish as the market grows. I missed my target. I wanted to leave 5 minutes for questions, but I have 1 minute and 10 seconds.
And we do have time, so we'll open it to the floor for questions.
Okay. I gave you fair
They're all
warning.
going to send them via email, Amanda. Any questions? No? If not, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Terrific. Thank you.